Hi, welcome to my name's Marge. I'm a Elk Empath, and just like to do these little talks and the way I feel about things. And man, there's a lot of charge. There's a lot of charge because people have been discharging, so there's a lot of charge in the air. Charge. I know about charge. My name's Marge. People used to say Marge in charge. They were doing it to be funny. I always had some pretty good ideas. That's what I like to do here is I like to share some ideas I got. I get these thoughts, ideas. We all do. Most of the time people are like, people don't want to hear about what those thoughts are. They don't make any sense, or those, they might think I'm crazy, or they might think I'm this, or they might think. Well, if they thought a little more about themselves, a little less about other people and their opinions of them, the world would be a much different place. Cats roaming around over there. It's a beautiful, gorgeous day. It's windy. I just took Benzo to get his stitch removed out of his eye. He did real good. Yeah, I could have done it myself, but it was a nice little outing. Break it up, see what's going on in the world, make sure the world's still there. It is. Happy to report. And the vet tech office, this gal, she's real nice, and I was telling her about how the rescue I got all my guys was from this Beagle Basset Rescue, the Heartland, great organization. Freaking, they do wonderful things, and they're just cool chicks, They make things happen. They're manifestors. They're creators. And I was talking about in the fall how they do super bingo, and people bring soup, make good soup and desserts and stuff, and play bingo, and all the money goes to the dogs. A lot of money. It's overhead and all that. But these gals aren't too egoic, so you're not paying for their freaking luxury. They're self-supporting. So they're what they do goes to help do things like transport 9 dogs from Tennessee to Omaha. Because what they do down there in the South, they use dogs to hunt, and if the dog doesn't freaking hunt, or if it doesn't perform the way you want it to, and at the end of the season they dump them off, because that's what you do when you're done with things, right? You just disregard it and throw it away. Then we get a world full of litter. So I thought I'd do a video outside because it's so freaking pretty, so pretty. There's a lot of changes. I know that I could tell because sometimes I go out and everything's exactly the same. Everything's the same. It's like you live the same day over and over. You drive down the same street. I mix it up. That's why I like to mix things up, because the idea of having the same experience over and over is just enough to, it's like nails on a chalkboard, and people don't even realize what that, there's like 2 generations now don't even know what that means. It's like they used to have old blackboards, chalkboards, you wrote in chalk, instead of these whiteboards and freaking nails on it. It's a frequency, and it's a high pitch, but it's a low vibe because it's mean to do. Because I don't know a lot of things that positively respond to that frequency. So teachers used to do it to freaking draw their attention to the class to get them to break it up, because it's such a shrill. It's that. And now people in their behavior, they're reaching that frequency, that shrill behavior. I've done it too. I've been the ass. I've misunderstood something and just reacted at it, and then it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes I've been too embarrassed that I haven't been sorry. And if I ever see them again, then I get to carry that embarrassment. Like, yeah, and I can make it right when I see the person that I'd engage with, and I was less than the best version of myself, That's what being a human is freaking saying you're wrong. And changing your behavior, and so you can freaking vibe higher. That's what it's all about, man. Ain't nobody ever do anything 100% right in any kind of way, And if they do, they're probably cheating. You don't want to hang out with them anyway. So, what else was I going to talk about on this? Yeah, it's pretty uncomfortable for some folks, Some people don't like ooga booga. Some people don't like woo woo. Oh, meow meow. They don't like it. We don't mind it. There's good stuff there too, So, people aren't, if they're not told to believe in fairies and weird stuff and woo-woo stuff, then when they see it, they just go, what the It's the resistance, see? It's the resistance. Doesn't matter what is the cause resistance. People are looking at the circumstances in life that is like, oh, this is resisting that. Blue is resisting red. Dims are resisting the geo. I don't even know what they call the parties anymore. They're always changing their brand, using tax money to change their brand and treat themselves. And so it's the resistance that people are feeling. It doesn't matter what is causing the resistance. It's the fear that people are fearing. It doesn't matter what people are afraid of. If people do things actively to take themselves, just you, don't worry about everybody else. Just take yourself out of the vibrational frequency of fear or lack, or just by telling yourself you're cool, man. Cool, and whatever comes along, you can handle it. Yeah, things are painful and they suck and they hurt, You ever freaking gone off of, have you ever done stunts when you were a kid and you knew the instant that it wasn't going to work favorably, We're just all trying to figure it out, Some of us are more adventurous than others. Some of us, when we were little kids, swinging on the swing, we want to see what it felt like to fly, so we'd launch, and then we freaking felt like what it would feel like to land. And you always get to that point. You always get to that of the realization of the reality that you created for yourself. If people are true to themselves, they'll see it. They'll see it. The switch when it turned. I did that one time with the swing, because I did that, and I wanted to do something different, so I tried it up here. That's what I did, just to see. Freaking hurt, And I did it later, about 10 years after that, in a tree 25 feet when I fell to the ground too. It's just all experience. I try things and then I make mistakes, But I don't want. I put a great deal of effort into my spiritual maintenance so that I don't make the same mistakes over. I make different ones, slight variances. So, kitty kitty meow meow. So people are, if they're calming themselves down, because more people are losing their jobs and they're having time to go within, and more people, people are splitting up, relationships are ending, and but for that to happen, there's for all the ends there are new beginnings. It's really quite freaking nice, actually. Just sometimes I really have to be careful not to put an end to an outcome to anything in my reality, because if I think I might be dreaming big and thinking big, but what could be happening is I could be selling myself short, and usually I do, and I already know that if I've already tied myself to plenty of negative outcomes that have become reality, so I know that lesson. So what I try to do is try to leave it all open, it's not me. All I can do is show up, and try and help and be positive in every area, It's easy to do. It's not hard, because people always need help, I can help people by just listening to them. Everybody wants to be heard. There's a lot of dissonance in the world today. Is people aren't getting heard, There's all these, and the people that are, it's like, who the fuck cares? Who the hell, cares? In the big mix, Geese. The geese are flying over. Stanley's chattering. He's responsive too, and I gotta go look up geese in the totem animal world. That's what I do, is I get messages like that. That's the messages I get. Geese fly over, you're getting a message. They're here to say something. They aren't just honking, and because I know that, because Stan Lee is like attention, like chattering his jaws and stuff. He's responsive too, so anyway, where are you going on time? That's about all I got. I mean, timelines are, and it's funny, people are like talking about like timelines changing, and I look at that as something as simple as when I left this morning, I was gone like 20 minutes. I took Benny, not even a half, I was like 20 minutes max. I left, I came back, and from the time I'd gone, I'd gotten back, there's like a big branch that had fallen off the big tree here, and not a big branch, but a branch, you know, and it wasn't there when I left. So I look at that as just jumped into a different timeline because the world's different, you know. Because there's been plenty of times that I've come and gone, and you know, it's everything's been exactly the same. And it's windy today, and the winds of change, they're here. They're here, you know. So don't be the freaking blower. That's so annoying. The blowers on a windy day, fall day. It's like you're blowing. You're. That's for another conversation. So don't blow. Just go with the flow. That's all I got for now. Hope you have I'll tell you the Segway story I started to tell yesterday. The story of the Segway, the guy that freaking invented it, he ended up dying by going over a cliff on a Segway. Irony, man. Can't make this up. It's just like Superman, the guy that played the first Superman, Christopher Reeves, falls off a horse, ends up paraplegic. This stuff is just, I don't know. I don't know why people spend so much effort and time making up stuff when real life is so much more magical. Hope you have a right afternoon. Peace.